Hello, my name is Alvin Cheng. I'm in BTAT 6210. I'm about to tell you a little bit about my leadership essay and what I wrote about. In this class, we studied 4 leadership principles: discipleship, service, influence, and stewardship. At the end of the class, after 7 weeks, my mind started working on these principles and figured out that discipleship is the way that the other 3 leadership principles will flow through. Discipleship is the vehicle that moves the other 3 principles. And so I came up with the term directional disciple-making. It comes from the book that we read as well, about how directional leaders are the ones that move an organization or individual forward. But in my head I went, well, what is the true vehicle that moves people? And it's truly discipleship. That's the mission that we're called to do anyways in Matthew 28, 19 and 20. It says, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations." And so in my essay, first thing I did was to define discipleship. I define it biblically, I define it in the Hebrew world and the Hebrew culture, and then I define it with our readings as well. So, and then the second part of my essay, I talked about how serving, influence, and stewardship will all move through this vehicle called discipleship. When you bring somebody along and you teach them, you serve them. And then when you bring somebody along and you teach them, you influence their life. And then when you bring somebody along, you are actually stewarding their life. And as ministers and people that work at church, that's what we do. We steward people's lives. And finally, I basically put it all in conclusion and apply it to my life and how this is going to be the foundation of my ministry here. Actually, not just here, but for the rest of my life, is that directional disciple-making as the modus operandi, as my MO, as my mode of operation. How does that work? So the first thing I do is that I have to display godly character in order to have somebody follow me. They have to see the character that I project and who I am truly. And then after that, I have to determine the direction that my life is going, so that as they follow, we are to move in the same direction, which is to the glory of God. I use the pastoral epistles to finally tie in as an example of what that looks like. We studied the pastoral epistles in 1st and 2nd Timothy, and Titus and Philemon as well. And then lastly, I wrote out my mission, which is to be a directional discipler, to be a directional disciple-making person. That's the end goal. That's what my life is about to be, and that's what is to be from now until the day I go to heaven. Thank you very much for listening to my summary of the essay that I wrote. It's Alvin Cheng, BTAT 6210. Thank you.